Hello students, this is Dr. P.R. Chaudhary from KKWA College of Food Technology. Today we will be studying about the different pre-harvest factors which affect the post-harvest quality of fruits and vegetables. So post-harvest management starts with pre-harvest management, meaning once the fruit is harvested, the overall quality of the fresh fruits cannot be improved, but it can only be maintained. So whatever the quality of the fruits or vegetable is at the time of harvest, you can only maintain that quality. You cannot improve the quality. You may enhance the color, but that's it. You cannot improve the taste, texture of that fruits. So therefore, pre-harvest management of fruits and vegetables is very important to maintain the post-harvest quality. There are several pre-harvest factors, mainly the different climatic conditions, different cultural practices being used, the genetics and the cultivar selection, and finally the pests and diseases. Today we will be studying about the different cultural practices. Under cultural practices, you have fertilizer application, irrigation methods, and management of the canopy. These three factors mainly affect the quality of the produce. Fertilizer application is very important because that is the main source of nutrients for the plants. And if the plants have good nutrients, you will get good quality of fruits and vegetables. Fertilizer application influences the post-harvest respiration rate. We all know if the respiration rate is very high, that means the post-harvest quality will be very poor. Any excess or deficiency of nutrients can affect the quality of the crop and its post-harvest life. So you have to make sure not only the plant should be deficient, also there should not be excess of the nutrients. So you have to give the right amount of nutrients to the plant. There are several physiological disorders usually occurring because of the mineral deficiencies, and these physiological disorders lead to post-harvest losses. Consumers will not pay money if your fruits and vegetables have any deficiency symptoms or any physiological disorders. That's why it is important to have proper fertilizer application. First nutrient is your nitrogen. High nitrogen increases the rate of fruit respiration. It also increases the tissue deterioration and therefore reduces the storage life. So you may make sure you are not giving high nitrogen to the plants during flowering and fruiting. Another major reason is if there is high nitrogen, usually the fruit set is lower. That is another factor. High nitrogen also increases the susceptibility to mechanical damage and physiological disorders and decay. So if the fruits have high nitrogen, they are mainly soft in texture and can be more susceptible to mechanical damage or disorders. High levels of nitrogen also decrease the flavor, total soluble solids, firmness and color of the fruit. Okay, so all the major quality parameters like flavor, total soluble solids, firmness and color of the fruits all can be directly affected because of high nitrogen levels. Also, it increases physiological disorder in stone crops and decreases their fruit color. Example, here you can see this is the strawberry plant which is showing nitrogen, excess of nitrogen leading to albinism. Albinism means white in color or no color development or improper color development. The next nutrient parameter is phosphorus. Phosphorus usually helps to reduce weight loss. It prevents sprouting and rotting in bulb crops. So this is one of the major post-harvest problem faced in bulb crops like onion and garlic, where you can see there is sprouting in the during the storage. So this is not desirable. It can also help to alter the post-harvest physiology and can affect the membrane lipid chemistry, membrane integrity, and respiratory metabolism. So all these metabolic processes can be altered with help of your phosphorus. The respiration rate of low phosphorus fruits is usually high than that of the high phosphorus fruits during storage. So we already know respiration is major problem. If there is high rate of respiration, it leads to low storage period. So low phosphorus fruits usually have higher respiration rate. Another thing is a deficiency of phosphorus in citrus will lead to fruit drop and hollow core and thicker peel. So here you can see the example of citrus fruits. The fruit on the left side is having adequate amount of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, whereas the fruit on the right side is deficient in your phosphorus. Therefore you see the peel thickness is more, and the center, this is your core, the core is hollow. So this is not a desirable character in citrus fruits. The next parameter is potassium. Potassium is very important to improve the keeping quality. It usually reduces physiological storage disorders like the pitting in case of your oranges. Pitting, even though it is superficial, that means it affects only the peel and not the inner quality, but still it is not desirable because consumer don't like to purchase such fruits. Deficiency of potassium also results in abnormal ripening of fruits and vegetables. Here is the example of tomato. You can see there are patches of red and orange color developed. It is not uniformly ripened fruit, no uniform development of color. So this also consumer will reject such produce. And the fruit size is greatly reduced if the potassium deficiency is present. In this case of citrus, the fruits on the left side are deficient in potassium, while the fruits on the right side are having adequate quantity of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. You can see the fruit size is reduced when there is potassium deficiency. Calcium is one of the mineral nutrient and is one of the most important from point of view of post-harvest storage. If there is higher level of nitrogen, phosphorus, manganese or low level of potassium and boron, all these can lead to calcium deficiency in fruits and reduces the storage period. Usually, if calcium is in adequate quantity, it will delay ripening and senescence and also reduces the susceptibility to chilling injury. That means if you are delaying ripening and senescence, meaning you are having prolonged storage period. Okay, and chilling injury commonly seen if you are storing the fruits at low temperature or chilling temperature, pitting or discoloration occurs in the fruits. So if your fruits are having adequate amount of calcium, this chilling injury can be reduced. High calcium reduces the rate of respiration, ethylene production, it delays ripening, increases firmness, it also reduces physiological disorders and decay. So all the parameters which affect the storage life, all these parameters are controlled and delayed with help of calcium. And usually if you are having high calcium, your fruits will be more firm and therefore will not have mechanical damage during transportation or handling. There are certain physiological disorders which occur due to low calcium. Most common is the bitter pit in apples. Then you have cork spot in pears, blossom end rot of tomato, and tip burn in lettuce or hollow heart in potato. Other nutrients also affect the keeping quality. Example, sulfur and selenium intake usually affects the concentration of organosulfur compounds in your allium and brassica species. Organosulfur compounds, example, when you cut an onion or when you crush a garlic, the smell which you get, that is nothing but your organosulfur compounds. So sulfur and selenium affect their concentration in allium and brassica species. Brassica species, your cabbage, cauliflower, turnip, goli, radish, etc. Irrigation is very important because it can help to reduce the water stress. If you are having water stress, it will reduce the longevity and storage life of the produce. So less water is not desirable, or any kind of water stress is not desirable. Whatever is the actual water content in the soil will be reflected to the available water present in the tissue at the time of harvest. So if your soil is very well irrigated, or there is a lot of available water in the soil, same will be the condition of the fruit tissues. Generally, higher, if the moisture content is higher, it will lead to poor storage characteristics. The fruit will be more soft, it can be easily damaged during mechanical transportation or handling, and it cannot be stored for longer period. The water content of the produce varies during the day, and the fluctuation in the temperature and relative humidity affect it. So when you are harvesting the produce, if you are harvesting in the early morning, then the water content in the produce will be higher. If you are harvesting the fruits or vegetable during peak hour at afternoon, the water content will be less. And it will also depend upon the fluctuations of temperature and relative humidity. Meaning in summer, the water content will be less as compared to rainy season, where the temperature is low and relative humidity in the air will be high. In case of leafy vegetable, however, when there is maximum water present in the produce, you have to harvest it at that time, because that gives the leafy vegetable their crisp texture. So if you see, if you are harvesting fresh leafy vegetables, example spinach, in spinach, if the leafy vegetable is harvested fresh, the leaves will be very crisp. They can even break. If you crush them, they will break. But if you store the same leaves outside for 2 hours, they will become all soft in texture. They lose their crispness. Irregular irrigation or moisture regime usually leads to fruit or vegetable cracking. Example in case of pomegranate and potato. So what is irregular irrigation? Meaning, if the crop is facing any water stress or drought, and then immediately if you are irrigating the fruits or vegetables, then what happens? The fruit will get higher water content, but the peel is not soft enough to expand. So the fruits will start expanding because of higher water content, but the peel is tough and not soft enough to expand, and that's why it leads to of the fruits. It is very common in pomegranate. Therefore, you should make sure you are not watering heavily immediately after any water stress. And the last one is canopy management or pruning. There are 3 types for canopy management. First is fruit thinning, then second is your fruit position in the tree, and third one is your girdling. Now fruit thinning usually increases the fruit size, but it will reduce the yield. But it is commonly followed in grapes to obtain better quality produce. Example, here you can see the bunch on the right side is very dense, whereas the one in the middle is little looser, and the one on the left is loose enough. So in this case, where the bunch is loose, the berries will get enough space to expand properly, and the berry size will increase. Even though the number of berries is less, but the berries will be of better quality and export quality. So this is usually practiced in your grapes. Here also you can see this is the bunch thinning going on in the grapes. Next one is the fruit position on the trees. Usually fruits which are exposed to sunlight or high light environment, they usually have higher total soluble solids, acidity, good fruit size, they have better aroma and have better shelf life as compared to the fruits which are inside the canopy in the shade. So sunlight is very important to develop good characters and quality parameters in the fruits. And third one is girdling. This is also again commonly followed in grapes, but this is very common practice in which you are removing a ring of outer bark of the plant, and this helps to accumulate all the food products, your carbohydrates, in the top portion, and this results into higher fruiting because now your carbon is to nitrogen ratio is high and there will be more fruit set. Okay, this is commonly done in grapes. It is also done in peach and nectarines. This increases the yield of the produce. So this was all about the pre-harvest factors which can affect the post-harvest quality. Thank you.